All right, I'm Dave Carter, Carter Cemetery Preservation. We were hired by the township to, come out and do restoration on Lakeview Cemetery. So this is just an example of stuff that we found. Emily Tilden was laying face down, and the base was buried about 2 feet under the ground. So we dig it up, you got to level the base, we put the tablet back in, and then the bottom here we'll finish with a grout mix to keep the water out. So this one here was full of lichen, dirty, so we had to clean it. So in order to clean it, you got to put the scaffolding up, and then I put a ladder on top, secure it, and then we clean from the top down. And so that's the process on that one, and that one came out pretty darn well for what it looked like previous. Well, basically you start just with clean water and a nylon brush and just a lot of labor. And then afterwards we'll put a biocide on it so it gets in the pores and be able to eat some more away over time. No, you can't really protect them because these stones are so porous. It'll just trap everything in there. It'll grow back. This one here took us, I think, about 4.5, 5 hours to clean it thoroughly. Next, we're going to go and we're going to look at another big obelisk that was like this, but the top part was twisted and it was in danger of falling. It was very, very unstable. Well, this was another one that was on the project to be cleaned, and as you can tell, it's pretty good size. When we started setting up the scaffolding and stuff, I noticed that this whole section from here on up, this corner was sitting right here, and it was all twisted, and it was rocking. I could just push it with my finger, and so I made a call to, the DPW. Dave McGee got one of his guys out here, and we ended up taking a 4x4, and he used the backhoe tooth very gently and just nudged this thing back over. And we had 2 guys watching to make sure that nothing was going to fall, and able to get this thing secure and stable and safe for cleaning and for people walking the cemetery. So a lot of these large ones were never pinned. They're strictly by weight. The caps very well may be pinned, but generally the ones that we've come across, very few have been actual pinned. So yeah, I mean that's probably 2,000–3,000 pounds of stone. Next is a repair of a large tablet that was laying down, and it's right behind us. We'll head on over there. Okay, so Stefan, this is one we were talking about a minute ago. I.C. Cochran, broken in several pieces. This topper was underneath the ground down here, so we were able to actually find that. Not too many times you find a nice topper like that in these old cemeteries, I can tell you that. So we got it leveled, we got it cleaned and repaired, and then finished it with a grout, and that's the final. So these 2 pieces, and down here we use an Italian epoxy, and that's what I learned on, and that's traditionally what I stick with. It's called 10X. It's a real good epoxy, and it comes many different ways, but we use one that cures in 7 minutes, and then one that totally cures in 24 hours. The difference is the 24 hours will go minus 30 degrees, where the other one is only to 0. But the quick is so you can go on to another one while this one is drying. And so you put them together. We use angle iron and just clamps and wood, and then the next day take it off. We will prep the crack, and then it'll get filled with a grout. And then down here is what we call this like a slot mix. It's for decoration and to keep the water out basically, so the water doesn't get in there and pop the base again. So before we started this, it pretty much mimicked this one here. It looked just like this before we started. So Stefan, yeah, Mary Scanning, I'm sure when she was a new stone, was a beautiful stone. Been laying here for better than, I bet 70, 75 years, somewhere in that neighborhood. So as you can see, it's very sugared. So we had to, unfortunately, where dyed was, we had to get rid of it, because you got to get to good marble to be able to epoxy it properly. So this is what it looks like afterwards. Maybe it lost about an inch of the stone, but the base again, that was another base that was buried 3 feet. This one was almost 3 feet down before we hit it, but you know, that's her done now.